Hey, what's up, good life? Thanks for joining me for today's 128 moment. You know, the most prominent figures in history are remembered for the great things they did, but even the greats had their worst moments. Walt Disney, he was fired by his editor at the Kansas City Star, who said that he lacked imagination and he had no good ideas. But I think Walt Disney went on to some success in creative areas, didn't he? Vincent van Gogh, he only sold one painting in his entire life, but today his works are now seen as priceless masterpieces. Thomas Edison, we know his successes, but beginning, his teacher told him he was too dumb to learn anything, and on his way to inventing the incandescent light bulb, he failed 1,000 times. Dr. Seuss, when he was trying to get his books published, he was rejected 27 times. But his works went on to sell 600 million copies. If history has been made by unlikely people who had their worst moments somewhere along the way, is there a small chance that you and I could leave a mark as well? More importantly, if failure has not disqualified history's great figures, could the Lord use us to tell his story? When we view our future through the lens of our past, there's not much reason to hope. From that perspective, our worst moments surely disqualify us from ever being useful to our great God. But then again, there's Peter. Simon Peter was the leader of the early church, the preacher to thousands on the day of Pentecost, and the only disciple who got out of the boat and walked on water toward Jesus. He was truly one of the Bible's greatest figures. But Peter had more than his fair share of bad moments. As soon as he got out of the boat, he took his eyes off Jesus and he started to be overcome by the waves. When Christ was on trial for his life, Peter's worst moment is that he denied even knowing Jesus 3 times. Last Sunday, as we wrapped up our study in the Gospel of John ends his book with this moment between Jesus and Peter, a moment that can give all of us hope. In human terms, Peter's failures completely disqualified him from serving Jesus. By any reasonable standards, Peter should have been disqualified for church leadership the night he denied Jesus 3 times. But thankfully, Jesus isn't bound by our standards. As we saw last Sunday, Jesus still planned to use Peter to feed his sheep and to build his church. You know, sometimes we feel like our worst moments will keep us from doing anything great for God. But if God could use Peter, he can use anybody. His imperfections did not disqualify him. And because of the work of Jesus on the cross, his worst moment and our worst moments, they don't have to disqualify us either. That's why this Sunday, we're going to start a new series called Reclamation Projects, Hope for Imperfect People. We're going to walk through the lives of several people in the Bible who had more than their fair share of worst moments. And in their stories, what I hope we're going to see is we're going to discover an essential truth that on our own, we are all imperfect and utterly unlikely, but our Heavenly Father is in the business of redeeming and reclaiming unlikely people to do unbelievable things. So hopefully we'll be able to join us on Sunday as we start that new series. We'll be at the church at 9:30 and 11. We'll be online at 11 o'clock as well. And until then, guys, let's go be a people who will love enough